Welcome back to the RV Shenanigans Podcast, presented by Liquefied. My name is Ryan, and along with my wife Lauren, we are Millers in Motion. We have a handful of these podcasts coming to you still from the Florida RV Super Show, but we are very much so nearing the end. So we have a huge favor to ask. What do you guys want to hear? We've done everything from industry news and inside stuff. We've addressed particular topics, and we do have a handful left that we're recording at the moment. And then we've also done a bunch of RV destination, kind of how we live in our rig, that kind of stuff. So we want to know what you guys want to hear. We've given you kind of a blanket coverage of everything. And we've absolutely loved doing that, but we want to start dialing it into what exactly you guys want. So let us know. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can do that in the comments below. If you are listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, you can actually send us a message over on Instagram, or feel free to shoot us an email at info@millersinmotion. All right. So this week's guest are some of our favorite people on the planet. We met them originally way back when, a few weeks before the filming of season 1 of RV Unplugged. I got to know, at least Phil, really well during season 1 of RV Unplugged. And leading up to the Florida RV Super Show, we had literally hung out with them for like almost 2 months straight. We spent New Year's with them. We spent the show with them because we were camped next to each other while we were attending the show. And then we went to season 2 filming of RV Unplugged together, where we camped next to each other and kind of leaned on each other. Because if you've never, well, a lot of people have never been through a production like that, it's draining is probably the best word. And Lauren had to fly back during some of it. So Phil and Stacy took care of me during that time, so we're very appreciative. But I just said who we're having on. But without any further ado, let's dive into this week's guest. Our first repeat guest are really, really good friends over at Today is Sunday, Phil and Stacy. Let's take a quick break and dive into the interview. What's the worst part about RVing? It's the black tank. No one likes to have to deal with a stinky or messy black tank. Let the team over at Liquefied RV Black Tank Management help you out. Created from the team over at Matt's RV Reviews, this is a 100% biodegradable product made right here in the good old US of A. Liquefied will help break down your black tank waste as well as help with those odors. In addition to helping with those odors, it's got an actually really great orange smell to it. So not only does it help break down those odors, it also helps freshen the bathroom. One of my favorite features is actually this easy measure pour spout. Because it's designed this way, you don't have to bring in other cups or measuring devices of any kind. Dump what you need in for your size tank, put the cap back on, and you're done. To learn more about Liquefied RV Black Tank Treatment, you can visit liquefiedrv.com. Do us a favor, please support the brands that support us, because they enable us to be able to bring you the podcast and the regular videos. To purchase Liquefied Black Tank Treatment, please see the link down below. And we are coming to you still live. This is actually our very last, second to last. Sorry, I forgot about the add-in show. Never mind. We're still coming to you live from the 2024 Florida RV Super Show. And we want to say a big thanks to the team over at Alliance RV for letting us kind of crash their party and set up shop over here and bring you all of our friends and guests and industry insiders and all that stuff we've been doing all week long. You guys have slowly become some of our really good friends on the road because we've been hanging out, it feels like, for about the last 2 months. We want to welcome Phil and Stacy from Today is Sunday. How are y'all?
Thank you. We're good, and we are loving it. We've had some great times together already, and we can't wait for more.
I think you mispronounced good times as with shenanigans.
I was going to say shenanigans.
Sorry, I didn't have the proper synergy. Is that the term
Yes,
on that?
yes, that's right. Shenanigans is it.
I will say you guys are also our first official repeat guest.
Woo! I love being first.
Wow, you got our first guest and our first repeat guest.
Dang, we rock.
You too. Good job.
In addition to that, last night you guys hosted a little meetup that was sponsored by RV Unplugged, our good friends over there that we're getting ready to shoot season 2 with. But if you guys don't mind, what was the point of the meetup? What did we do? All that good stuff.
This is one of our awesome, epic fundraisers that we do all year long. We've been doing since we started our YouTube channel. And this is our second year joining forces with not only RV Unplugged, but the local Elks Lodge. And our mission, of course, is to raise money for our veterans in need. So last night, thanks to the sponsorship of RV Unplugged, we raised a total of $12,000 for our veterans.
Yes.
So we are super thrilled.
And that is 3 times as much as we raised last year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's amazing.
We were just over 4,000 last year, and it just shows that the RV community is and always will be just awesome. I mean, there's no other way to say it. The RV community, every time we ask of them, they always answer, and they don't hesitate. So
Which is
last night was
amazing.
a great event. Yes.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it was just fun.
Oh my gosh, it
was.
was so much fun. And that's what we love about the community is we all get together. Everybody there makes connections. They meet up later on down the road. And it was, I don't know, it was a great night. I was exhausted, but it's so worth it.
It is. And I'm going to say thank you for being the voice, right? Because you're leading those things and you are the voice for certain veterans that may not have one otherwise. So not only are you pivotal in bringing people together, you're pivotal in getting that where it needs to go.
And thanks, but really most people want to give back. They want to figure out a way to pay it forward and volunteer or donate, and they just don't know where to start. So, we are really happy to lead people there and, help them make a difference because they want to.
Right. Well, again, thank you guys so much for doing that. I know that money's going to go to a couple of good causes
Yes.
across not just Tampa, but Homes for Our Troops.
Absolutely.
So it's been a little while since you guys have been on YouTube and got on the road and all that, but let's back up. Why are you laughing at that, Phil?
It seems like yesterday.
Is it
It's
really?
been almost 6 years.
Has it been 6?
Yeah, we're getting close to it.
So we want to kind of backtrack all the way to the beginning. What ultimately got you guys on the road?
Stacy told me we're going to do it.
That's usually how most things work in the house. No.
I was going to say normal.
Yeah.
No, really, it was a culmination of a lot of things. The kids were leaving the nest. I was looking to downsize. Phil had been gone for 18 months overseas by himself, and he came home, and my nurse practitioner job had me working so much. He actually saw me more on FaceTime when we were apart than when he got there. So we were just trying to find a way to get some time back from when Phil was in the military, and really RVing fit the bill for us.
Gotcha.
Spot on. The downsizing is what we were really looking at. So we were going to move houses because it was just us two. So we didn't need all that space. And she convinced me that we could always get another house later. Mm-hmm. The RV would be the great vehicle to get out and see our own country because we did travel a lot overseas. And it took some convincing, but once I agreed to her move, it
In
was a
other words, he
no-brainer.
agreed to purge all his stuff. That's
Yeah.
really what he's saying.
That was the hardest part. But I got to tell you, it was probably the best decision that we could have made as a couple back in 2017 when we decided to jump in and go.
So did you guys have RVing experience prior to that?
Zero.
Not a drop
Zero
of it.
camping as a family, zero RVing as a family. When we were kids, we dabbled a little bit with our families, but never once we joined the military and got married.
You know,
I'm surprised how many people say that they really
Right.
had zero experience before they got into RVs.
I could spell RV. That was about it.
Good job,
Sometimes
Phil.
he could.
And it just really, it's something that you saw. We drove by a campground close to our house, and that was it. We just drove by it, never gave it a second look, and then we ended up going there for the first 2 months that we were out of the house. And it really started to open our eyes to how much the RV community was there, what it could do for us as a couple.
Yeah.
Very
Awesome.
cool. So when you guys hit that road that first time, did you have a time frame in mind, or was it just we're going to go and see what happens?
Well, originally we said a year. We'll give it a year and, see if I really like it. Because, it's so different than a regular sticks and bricks life. So we gave it a year, and by the time I don't even know if we were more than 3 months in, we were already like, this is it. We're not stopping.
No, that's when we shifted from calling the RV and started calling it our house. That's when we knew we were kind of onto something, and it's been no looking back since.
Right. So more recently now, you've seen a lot of this country at this point, right?
Yeah, not everything. We still have a long way to go, but we have checked a lot of boxes.
And she says that, and we really haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot, we've met a lot of great people, but yet we haven't.
So more recently now, though, you guys are starting to dabble in international travel.
Yes.
So what spurred that on?
Well, honestly, for full-time RVers, 5 years is the average lifespan for a full-time RVer. Usually they're ready to do something new and try something else. And a lot of times that means buying another house. And we're not ready to do that. We're not done traveling. We just want to mix it up a little bit and change where we're going and some of the ways we're traveling.
Gotcha.
And, when we were in the military, we were on different ships at one time. And our ships would meet overseas in a foreign port. Hong Kong was our first port that we were both there together. And we both got to explore and see a different side of the country. And it spurned that itch to just continue to travel and explore. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
So,
and I really believe when you experience other cultures and other countries, and when I say cultures, I even mean cultures in our country.
Sure.
I mean, the culture in Boston is so different than New Orleans and California. So you do experience different kinds of people, different cultures, different way to do things. In the U.S. as well as in other countries, you grow as a person. You understand people better. You see where they're coming from. And I think for me, that's a big part of it. I want to see, we were just in Italy for 30, 40 days, and I wanted to immerse myself in their culture. I wanted to kind of get to know the people, how they lived, what they do. I just think it makes you a better person and you can understand their viewpoint.
Yeah. So obviously in the Navy, you guys were deployed all over the place. But so outside of that, did you have a lot of experience with international travel?
We had taken a few trips here and there while I was on leave. And, it's completely different because for me, I had 2 weeks of vacation at a time. So we would go, hurry. You didn't really have time to get out and linger and like we did in Italy, immerse yourself.
Sure.
Because you've got to get there, you got to see it, you got to check the box, you move on. Then you've got to get back because now you got to go back into work mode. And for a 2-week vacation for us, after about 7 or 8 days, my mind had already switched back to work mode. So I was really cheating us on our vacation because I was ready to get back.
Right.
Now we take our time. We like to, and a lot of our travels we come back to those places because we found that we weren't there long enough. And we'll come back. So that now it's just allowed us to slow down and really get out and get to see these places and enjoy them.
So obviously you guys were in Italy for 40 days, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So was that just straight Airbnb? Did you move around a little bit?
We did a 30-day Airbnb. So we were just south of Naples in a small town. And then from there we did the rest of the time in Rome. So It wasn't Airbnb. And, we went to the local market. We bought fresh bread. We got to know the shop owners. We got to know our neighbors. We started running into people in town that we had met. And they were like, hey, how's it going? It was really interesting.
And it was really good to try your hand at a different language.
Phil actually did really good. We won't talk about my language skills.
I tried as much as I could, and believe it or not, the locals appreciate it.
Right.
That you're at least giving it an effort. We were butchering, the language, but they appreciate it. They understand that you're trying, and that helps them as well.
Right.
But, because language barriers anywhere make it harder. But we really tried to immerse ourselves and just be with, one with the city or the town that we were in.
I was going to say, and I can speak to that too, because I've traveled internationally quite a bit. And I tell people all the time when you go, just learn a little bit.
Yes.
You don't have to have a lot. Just try to say hello, how are you?
Yeah.
And then
Thank you.
And then maybe learn how to ask, do you speak English in their own language?
Right.
And the appreciation you get just for trying that, butcher it, don't butcher it.
Right.
It just warms them up a little bit better.
And that was the word that we heard a lot is they appreciated us, at least attempting.
Yep.
Because, you get a stereotype if you go over there and you expect everyone to speak your language in their country.
Right.
So every little bit helps.
And you said expect, they appreciate it. Normally there's some giggling in there first because like
they're laughing at me. They laughed at me a lot.
When Stacy tried to say,
that was horrible.
Buongiorno, and it just didn't come off
Stop
Stacy's tongue.
Stop it.
So now we say that, Phil, you got to hit us with a little bit if you've.
Good gravy.
Ooh, he's on the spot.
Did you already data dump?
Yeah.
Well, reach back into the archives.
Oh my gosh, and he was good at it too.
Well, we did a lot of, buongiorno, grazie.
How about this one? Because this seems like something you may have said a few times. may I have some ice cream?
Gelato.
Yeah, gelato.
Yeah,
but
gelato. What was it?
I didn't think he remembers. I'm so
This
disappointed.
wasn't that long ago.
Pressure.
No, well, you switch gears.
That's right.
I switched
We're at an
gears
RV
on
show.
on
It's
that
out of my mind.
As
on that
she said,
9-hour
you
flight.
data dumped.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, it was the more common phrases.
It
the,
is.
The
Yeah.
yes, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna save you. So my only tip if you're traveling international is don't just do all the big touristy items. Don't
Sure.
go to the Instagram worthy shots. There are so many off the beaten path areas that you can go to. Ask someone there locally where their favorite places are, their favorite restaurants, their favorite parks, something like that. And you really will get to know the country much better than if you only hit those famous touristy spots.
Right. So when you guys were in the Navy, did any of your travels there kind of inspire where you want to go next, or even Italy?
100%.
Oh, yeah, a little
I would
bit.
say 100% because we were there for 4 or 5 days, so it piqued your interest.
Or 1 or 2, yeah.
And then you'd like, okay, let me put this on the list because I definitely want to come back.
Or where we don't want to go back to. I mean,
Sure.
we've been to some beautiful places, but, like Singapore was amazing, but it's so expensive.
Right.
So, yes, I would love to go there, but maybe after I win the lotto.
Well, we actually met in Japan. So we lived in the country for a couple of years. And back then, I wasn't as adventurous as Stacy was. She would
He needed a lot of training.
She would jump on the train and
A
she would
lot.
just go. She would go to a restaurant and just say, "I'll take that."
I would just,
Not-
Japanese have picture menus, and I would just pick a picture. And I'm like, don't tell me what it is. I don't want to be biased. I'll taste it when it gets here, and I'll decide.
That
And
is adventurous.
I did that for 2 years. I would just hop on a train and get off at a random stop and just walk around. And it took a while to get Phil into it.
Yeah, I was like, "I'll go out, but where's
He's-
the local
he's like, "I'm
McDonald's?"
getting noodles. Give me a stir fry.
I wasn't that up to trying new things back then.
So, but that you even bring up a good point, because even the McDonald's are different over
I
there.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness! Everywhere you go.
So while we were there, I could get a great teriyaki burger.
You remember back in the day,
Amazing, but you couldn't get it anywhere else.
and that
you know.
we argued about that a little bit. You don't go overseas and go to
Chili's.
chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned real quick that I had to change my way of travel, or somebody was.
He had to
going
change
to
a lot
it
of
for
things.
me.
We had to work at work.
40 days was turning into a week real fast.
Yeah, but again, it just shows that you can get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
I've tried things that I would have never tried back here in the States because I had my comfort food.
Well, that includes red wine. Phil really
Yeah.
got into red wine when we were in Italy. So we can do some harvest hosting and hit some wineries, and he won't complain.
Yeah. Well, I'm a sailor at heart, and
was about to
sailors
say, he'll-
like beer. So I tried here in the States to drink red wine, and I didn't like it. We get to Italy, and all of a sudden, I liked it.
Well, it's just like the pizza and the pasta. It's
Absolutely.
different. It's not the
Oh,
same.
it's yes.
Different. I
It is
never
totally
thought I would
different.
enjoy a 3-topping pizza ever. I'm loaded up and let's go. But over there, completely different. Everything, and it was amazing.
Now, on the flip side of that, we did find a pretty good pizza place in the Hill Country when we were down there.
We did.
Although it looked questionable when we pulled up.
Those are usually the best ones.
They
though.
are.
Yeah.
So, do you have any destinations that are kind of circled coming up that, well,
Do we?
yeah.
Of
That
course
you can tell
we do.
everybody
Which
about.
year
what-
are we talking?
All right, so I will go ahead and drop a little tidbit here that won't be going on the channel. So if you don't catch it here, you won't catch it. We do have the beaches of Normandy coming up.
Ooh.
So as you guys know,
Bucket
we just
list.
talked about
Yeah.
it this morning, how much we love our veterans, and we really want to go over there and experience that and just feel the moment over there, and hopefully share that with some people who can't make it over there.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And that'll be this year.
yeah. We have so many bucket list items.
Sure.
And you check 2 or 3 items off your bucket list, and in the process you add 4 or 5 more.
That's what I was going to
So
say.
it-
She told me the list is actually growing.
Growing.
Yeah, it grows, I think, every day. But it's something good to shoot for.
Right.
You put it down, you write it down, and then every time you come back to whatever spreadsheet you have it on, you're constantly looking at it. So it forces you to say, okay, we've got to just finally do this. And Stacy's starting to do that. She's starting to schedule those things out so that we can plan accordingly, because you can't just wake up in the morning, pack a bag, and head overseas. I mean, there's a lot of things you have to look into. So we definitely we'll make a few more hops across the
So
pond.
I have an unplanned question.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever considered, or have any of your travels been based around, I want to experience this type of event, and then that determines the destination?
Absolutely.
Well, we have really been talking about that over the past couple of months. There are several events that we're looking at. There's something in Montana. There's the air show in Wisconsin, and we
Go Packers. Sorry.
Moving on. So we really want to hit some of those. We think it'll be a lot more fun if we have something we can rally around an event.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing that with our crew. So if you guys don't know, we have a Someday crew, and we do meetups all over the country, and we hang out. So we really want to plan some of those really cool festivals and events and, unique things that you find across the country.
and you guys are part of the crew, so you need to.
So
Actually show up
Yeah,
and hang out with us.
I jokingly say we're probably your worst crew members because I think I haven't opened Discord in about 6 months.
But actually, only about 50% of our peeps are on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found the same.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that social media, it's something else. Sometimes people aren't big social media people,
Yeah.
or they're like actually busy and have a life, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But then we gather together, and they come, and we all meet up. We have a great time. So it's all good.
We've definitely said that this year we need to make a better effort to go to more events and not just be in our own little space and continuously do our own
Yes.
thing. So,
Yeah.
as you guys know, once you get into the YouTube and in this case now podcast
Yes.
world, you can get tunnel vision kind of quick.
It's
quickly.
overwhelming, and,
Yeah.
and you could actually drown in all
Sure.
this work. Like, it could be endless. So sometimes, and I'm talking to myself as much as you actually have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, you need to pause.
Somebody once told me that there are two forms of living. There's surviving and there's thriving, and you don't do both at the same time.
That is brilliant.
And so if
Yeah.
you're going through a season of life that's only surviving, that's all you're focused on.
Right.
But then, like for us, the past 6 months was that. And now that we're coming out of that, we're looking at these thriving moments, and those are
Yes.
some of them.
Somebody gave us a great piece of advice when we first started, and that was don't live your experiences through the lens of your camera. So don't live your entire life and travels through the lens of that camera you're carrying. So we're starting to get a lot better at putting the camera down. Stacy is, that is. And you have to do that every now and then for your sanity.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
So
absolutely.
we're 6 years in, and we're getting better at that.
Trying to find a little balance.
Yeah, but
We-
it's tough because that tunnel vision you just mentioned, it comes quick.
It does.
And then
Well,
next thing you know, you're 6 months in, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What the heck happened?"
You're right. We were just talking about it this morning, and I said, we love the Super Show. We love meeting everybody, but it is exhausting too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's not that I can't talk to everybody all day, but at some point I need a few hours of sleep.
Yes.
And I was so excited because we obviously are going to go be filming RV Unplugged here pretty soon. And we don't have to film anything after that
Yeah.
because we pre-planned. And so we don't have to film a drive
Oh my
day,
gosh.
which is the first time I think in maybe a year that
I'm
we're
so
not actually
jealous.
pulling a camera out on a drive day. So
You can actually pay attention to where you're going,
yeah, right.
not what's all around you.
I've
beneficial.
I've
Yeah.
driven past this thing
Yeah.
14 times. I didn't know it existed.
Right.
I
right.
literally have no content right now. Like, I have nothing in the bank. I haven't recorded a single thing since we've been here. So I think we're going to go live today. So if you guys are listening, we're going to actually go YouTube live somewhere in the show. So find us and say
Well,
hi.
if you want mics, you can do it right here. I can
I don't
tie
know.
in your camera.
But we're going to walk around.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, like we're.
This would be a lot to carry.
Yeah, it would. So I don't know what it's going to look like. It'll be our first time doing it.
It could
so
be like
we'll
a
see.
scavenger hunt, find you.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
So the one thing for us with coming to the show is, as you said, it is exhausting, but it's our way to say thank you.
Right.
It is.
To as many people as we can in one place.
It's very fulfilling to see everybody
Yeah.
It
in
is,
person.
and we were talking about it this morning. I mean, we didn't go to bed till after 2:00 this morning from the event last night.
Ryan
I'm
knows
aware.
too.
Yeah.
You were my ride.
Right, and then you get back up. You get up in the morning and you're dragging because you're so exhausted, but it's ahead of you, and that's getting
Right.
out, meeting people, saying thank you, and that's not only the people that watch us, but the companies that
Sure.
we work with that are here.
Right.
So it's a great way to put faces to names and just really say thank you
Yeah.
for the support.
Yeah. So not to just completely drop what we're talking about and go back to my list because Lauren made lists.
We do go off on a squirrel all the
Sorry.
time.
Us? No.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're chatting with friends.
Right.
It's so easy.
It's so
You
easy.
forget, we're actually recording this. We're not just having a conversation in our living room.
Yeah, well, We were last time, but
Yes,
that's
we were.
just with all
Normally,
the stuff.
when we do these things,
We're still on a tangent.
We request 72 degrees and green M&Ms. So it's a
not
little
50
cold today.
degrees and
Yeah.
shade and a wind tunnel.
He obviously didn't get the memo.
No.
It makes you feel any better. I'm in a fishing shirt. I'm
Yeah.
cold too. So to come back a little bit to international travel, do you guys have any plans to do some RV versions of that?
Oh, of course we do. Phil doesn't because he doesn't know what I'm cooking up, but I am cooking. I have 3 countries on my list that we may be hitting in 25, where we're also going to be RVing those countries. And I'm going to keep them on the down low only because if they don't come to fruition, I don't want to talk about
Right.
it. So
I love that Phil just nods. He's like, "Yep, that's what we're doing."
I truly am just the driver and the guy that fixes and cleans things.
he does a great job doing dishes. When he says clean things, he does. He cleans pretty much everything.
Well, when we were going through the Canadian border, as an example, the border agent's asking us, "Where are you going?" And I'm looking over at Stacy, and he says, "How long are you going to be there?" And again, I turn and look at Stacy. So now he's looking at us like, "Okay, these guys are suspects, and they just don't know it yet." But I truly, I just said, "Look, I'm good. Let's go. Tell me where we're going," and that's kind of how we do it.
Which that's kind of some of the fun, though, right? For you, at
Yeah.
least, because I have this thing, especially with the rig and the size we are. She'll have some ideas, but I normally kind of put my thumbprint on the drive days just because I'm the one driving it, and I don't want to get stuck somewhere on accident. So, but
No,
you guys are a little more
we have
nimble
a
than
great,
we are.
rhythm when we're driving. She's the navigator. She's
Look, I've been
She's
telling
my-
him where to go for 30 years. Let's
Yeah.
not change that.
And I don't want to stop. I'm so used to it now. But we have our roles on travel day.
Sure.
And she's working, editing, doing all those things while we're driving.
Right.
And the navigator on top of that. So she keeps us out of a jam and gets us in the right spot.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So it works
So,
out.
last international question.
Okay. I know we keep diverting.
No,
I'm so
you're
sorry.
fine.
We're
You're fine.
terrible podcasters.
I'm just fishing. I'm bringing you back in a little bit.
I
So
don't know about you, but I look good.
you do have a voice for radio, yeah.
Yes, I do.
face for radio.
I do.
So when you guys do travel away from the RV, how do you kind of manage that or store the RV? And I say that knowing full well what you do. I'm talking about what you're going to do now that they've moved.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what we're going to do. We've been really lucky. We've left the RV in our daughter's driveway and it was plugged in. We left it with Phil's uncle once and it was plugged in on that property. And now that our daughter is selling her house and moved to a real neighborhood, we can't park in the driveway. So I don't know what we're going to do. So we're going to have to leave it for up to 30 days at a time somewhere. So we're still deciding if we're going to leave it in a campground. We've done that before for short term, or if we're going to store it somewhere. So
Yeah.
we'll have to navigate that, and we will definitely share our experience with you guys.
So TBD.
Yes.
Yeah, I prefer having it somewhere where eyes can watch it, whether it's a park or a friend's house. Storage unit doesn't really give me a warm fuzzy.
Nope.
At
just
all.
because there's not that.
Even plugged in.
Yeah. and
Even
we-
with cameras.
Yeah.
No.
Right. We did that the first 6 months we owned it because we still had the house. But yeah, it's a little bit trickier to navigate now that we've lost that mooch docking spot.
I know. Really, how dare my daughter not think about us when she's deciding where to live?
I'm not going to lie. Now I'm distracted because Todd and
gonna
Tony
say.
are playing with everything on our table over
We have
there.
welcomed toddlers into the podcast tent.
I had no idea what Todd was saying. Tony's now fixing what Todd did. Oh, he was asking whose cameras. Those are both ours.
It's so funny.
Well, it's facing them. That little guy right there is facing us.
We
so.
made it
Welcome
5
to live
days and
podcasting.
12 podcasts without
Before you're
anybody
interrupted.
doing that.
Todd's been here for 5 minutes.
That's so funny.
I think he's sleep deprived because
That's what
he got
happens when
off
we're
the
all
podium.
together.
He got off the podium yesterday, jumped in his truck, and started driving.
And now
So-
here is Central Florida,
Yeah.
ready for some RV
That's
Unplugged.
right. We're all ready. It's going to be so cool.
It is.
He said he's ready to sleep.
Aren't we all?
Well, I think that's what, 3 weeks now. He
Yeah,
can take a
yeah.
nap. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
So-
Not till then.
Okay, guys. First of all, thank you so much for being on the show once again. I do have a few listener questions for you, though.
Oh,
and
interesting.
full disclosure,
Somebody
they-
actually sent a question. I just figured, man.
Thanks, Mom.
So you guys, actually, it's your daughter.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Probably.
just kidding. So you had a lot. I narrowed it down to 3.
Okay.
And one threatened me, so that one definitely got in.
Oh.
So the one that
I'm
threatened
afraid.
me is Eric from Colorado. I think this it's for both of you, but Phil's going to be the one that reacts. How do you feel about Army's victory over Navy?
Next question.
Yeah. There's other things in there. I'll let you assume it. We may have muted the Wags last night for doing the same thing.
Oh, that's so funny. We did
You know,
do that.
the Army-Navy game is one of the most watched and talked about games every year. And for us, it's a great time of year for the military to get together and smack talk.
Yep.
And it's all in good fun. And I always rib the other services, but at the end, it's one team, one fight.
Yep.
And for 14 years straight, Navy
I knew that was
owned
coming.
Army, and the tide has changed a little bit. So Army is one of the last few. But it's just it's that's truly America's game, and for us, it just opens lines of communication a
Sure.
little bit funnier and heavier.
Well, and I will say, as the civilian side of college football, I would appreciate if any of the branches of the military put a team that could beat anybody else outside of the military.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, we actually did a huge fundraiser 2 years in a row. We did
you?
an Army Navy Smackdown. So
Oh, that's right.
We raised over $5,000 over those 2 years. That was early on, where we were all cheering for the game, and then after the game was over, we had to get on and go live. So if we lost, all of our Army friends could dog us live on the air, and if we won, we could brag.
Did they ever? And
The
even
first
here,
year we won. The second year we lost.
even here at the show, I mean, that's their lead-in. Go Army.
Yeah.
When they meet us. But it's
It's
all in
so
good
much
fun.
fun,
It
yeah.
is. And in the military, it means something when your service branch has bragging rights.
Sure.
And we can't wait for Navy to get it back.
And we're getting it back. So
We are.
Eric, just hold tight. We're
right.
coming back.
I do like how Phil said, we're going to get it back, but his face said, please get it back.
Well, and I said it like I'm part of the team. We are going to get it back.
That's right. We're going to be right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next question comes from Mary in New Mexico. What has been your scariest moment of RV life?
I think when we were stuck in the mud.
Yeah, that was scary, but it wasn't my scariest. The scariest for me is the cars that cut us off and almost caused us to crash. I mean, really everything else you can kind of handle. You can't handle somebody cutting in front of you. And that's why we have our dash cam.
We can't stop on a dime. Yeah.
Our dash cam is there to protect
Yes.
us.
Agreed.
But for me, that's the scariest part. Getting stuck in the mud was scary because we thought we were damaging the rig.
Yeah.
We just didn't know. We thought it was going to cost us a gazillion bucks to get us out. So that's what I think.
I think if you're aware that things can go wrong, you're kind of prepared for it mentally.
Yeah.
When things do go wrong, it doesn't freak you out nearly as much. You just have to keep a calm head, and really RV life is 100% going with the flow. You can't get too wound tight, Phil. You just have to go with the flow.
Preparing for
That's-
what you can, and then understanding that there's a certain amount you can't prepare for.
Absolutely.
Right. And no, I'm it's my house, and I don't like people that assume that I can stop on a dime.
Yeah.
A 35,000 pound vehicle going down the road, and I didn't really understand it either until I got behind the wheel of one. Now I do.
Same.
And so if you're out there listening and you are around RVs, slow down.
Please.
Don't cut us off. Please. We beg you.
Okay, so this last question, these competitive questions. I remember putting this together like 3 weeks ago, and I'm realizing what I've done now. This is from Andy in Michigan.
Andy.
Who's going to win RV Unplugged Season 2?
Oh my God. I don't even know why this question is here. I win everything. I am winning. We can just end the podcast right here. We're done. It's over. Don't
She's
even talk,
going
Phil.
down.
Don't even
She's
talk.
going
So-
down this year. This is Phil's year. I can feel it.
The year of the Phil.
I will
right.
say, obviously, if you watched RV Unplugged, I was on Phil's team for
Yes, you
Season
were.
1, even though Stacy picked me. I still get annoyed with red RV Unplugged shirts that just have the big logo on the front, and I'm
So do
looking
I.
specifically at a Cast 2 Season 2. Yours isn't red, it's fine.
He's sucking up already. He's sucking up. So he's already pledging his allegiance.
And we
for
say we were
Stacy.
talking about Season 2 contestant is right over behind us.
Speaking of, if you are here in the booth live, here in just a little bit, the RV Unplugged Season 2 cast, Phil and Stacy will be wandering around as well. We'll be here doing a meet and greet as well.
We are super excited for Season 2. Season 1 was kind of the learning year,
We're sorry, season 1 contestants.
Whatever.
I feel like they're going to get a bad rap because season 2 is going to blow season 1 out of the water.
So if you've seen season 1, or if you haven't seen season 1, go back and watch it. You'll get a ton of laughs. But if you're ready for season 2, tell everybody, tell all your friends, check this show out. It's for everyone. And we could use the support to help this moving forward. So we're excited for season 2. The contestants are excited. Stacy did a great job casting, we think.
Yes, she did.
But time will tell.
The we think there at the last little
He
bit,
always
just in
thinks.
case.
It depends on probably how his team does.
Especially that
Exactly.
guy over there in the red shirt. He's already
Exactly.
questionable.
That's
So
right.
if we come out on top, then if Team Phil comes out on top, Stacy
whatever.
did well at casting. So we'll leave it at that.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. We're excited for RV Unplugged. We're excited. We're still involved with you guys, so
Yes,
we're
that's
coming
awesome.
over. We're happy that Todd made it safely, so we can actually have a host for the show.
That's
He's not
always a
listening
bonus.
now.
I know.
He just
They're-
likes to mess with things and
They've
wander
all
off.
checked out.
I think Stephanie did all the driving.
I
though.
think the
Didn't
season
she?
2 contestants
I think
are
she
over
drove.
there schmoozing him, trying to get
She-
a leg up.
At the end of the day, Stephanie is in charge, and we understand that.
Yes.
We all know that.
Yeah.
As all good women are.
Where can everybody find Today is Someday stuff?
Right there at Today is Someday. No.
Stuff.
Just kidding. So we are at todayissomeday.net if you head to our website. And then, of course, on YouTube, you can find us there. And we're on all the socials. And you can get our links on our website if you head over there. Ton of info. As a matter of fact, we're going to leave up our link for a little bit for the our charity. So if you want to donate to a good cause, you'll see links to our veteran charities. So on our websites.
Awesome. And then you can find everything RV Unplugged at rvunpluggedtv.com. Check out season 1, season 2 coming soon.
And make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel because you're going to want to meet the contestants when that footage starts rolling out because you're going to want to pick your favorite.
And while you're at it, millersinmotion.com too.
Oh, yeah, we have stuff.
Oh, yeah, we have stuff.
Hello.
YouTube.
Awesome, guys. Thank you again so much. And a big shout out to Alliance RV for letting us be in the booth. And a shout out to Tony for awkwardly staring at us right now as we finish this outro. Thank you guys so much. And we will chat with you next week.